Good. You rocking with your boys Czar, all rights reserved. Coming to you with another one. I have some other topics that I'm looking at, but I quickly wanted to ask everybody, do you feel that there are people that are mocking Tentacion? Now, what could I possibly mean by this? Well, the reason I bring this up is, do you feel that there are people that are acting out his situation? Remember, right after it happened, there were a lot of people who came out and was basically battling to claim the rights to what happened against him. Now, I'm bringing this up because this seems to be a synonymous factor between people who are showing less respect for what happened by basically taking shots in their own way at the character and the reproof of the fact that this has happened to a young man. And we've seen nothing but situation after situation involving people reacting erratically, openly and behind the scenes over this situation. I'm trying to figure out if mocking this situation is what people enjoy doing. You see, something doesn't need to be blatantly in your face to be something that's known to others. And that's the thing. Sometimes it's hidden meanings in everything. And that's really causing me to think, what if mocking the situation is becoming the norm now? People who ordinarily would show some sort of passion towards what happened are finding ways to detail their own thoughts about it by making fun of the situation. And making fun of something, you know how you tease someone and you could mimic walking like them, mimic doing something like they did. That's my thing. It doesn't need to be in your face like, oh, I'm making fun of it. It's just how you move. And the thing is, we've been seeing funny movements since this happened. Maybe you didn't catch it. Maybe some people didn't catch it. But a select few have caught it and brought it to my attention throughout the nature of the series. And I just thought about this. What are your thoughts towards this? Do you think that it makes sense to mock something that happened rather than speaking up on it, trying to actually figure out what's going on? It's a dog-eat-dog world, but when does friendship come into play, and when does I am my own man, especially if you got a chance to eat with someone? So if you ate with someone, should you mock it, whether it has to do with a song or it has to do with a presence? And that's the thing. When people feel led a certain way to address the topic a certain way, it really begins to have me thinking, because sometimes it's some entities that I hadn't even seen speaking at first. Some people that I hadn't seen reacting at first, but they react off of our videos. But the thing is, they didn't react normally to the entire situation. They were acting like it was another day, which in turn, and out of respect to them, it was. But does that still give the reasoning behind why someone should mock something? I'm bringing this up because a lot of people I've seen have attempted to say they felt some sort of way because we addressed it. But why didn't you address it if you didn't like how we addressed it? That's the thing. Same thing I'm saying. If somebody didn't like the way something went and you didn't like an event, are you going to complain about the event for years, or are you going to do it the right way and show those who did it wrong how it's done? It's the same mentality. I don't never criticize someone's media or how they present to do it unless I see them in a contradictory way to how they do their media versus what they accept. And they could be bigging up how someone did something, but then at the same token, I seen them down in someone else because of how they did it. Those type of things is what gets me out there speaking about it openly in a certain way. And that's what they don't understand. There's a method to the madness. And the thing is, if you don't control the madness, or you don't mastery the movement of the madness, you end up destroying yourself and what you came to create. I mean, you can make a level of understanding out of chaos, but when it's chaotic, it's like they want all respects to their privacy and what they're doing, but they want to destroy someone else's peace and say, go figure. As long as they get paid, as long as they collect, they don't care about those beneath them. For instance, children. They don't care about the children in pain. that are dealing with many different things. They don't care about the things we need to care about. And that's the next generation. It's all about building up the next generation. And that's my thing that I do with this media thing, to honestly build up the formalities and understanding of what it means to be socialites in this day and age where you have people who either A, can't be trusted, or B, just have ulterior motives to why they're socialites. And it shows because they find ways to down other socialites for no reason and speak less when there's stuff to actually be targeted. That's my thing. You need to speak up in every scenario, as we do here. We speak up in every way, shape, and fashion. We don't just take one scenario, speak on it, and ride on it if we're not going to speak on something else. And that's where my criticism of others come in. That's where I begin speaking a certain way, because I don't like the way others have derived to speak about something. I think that's a very hard to do in the current day and age. We do it, but what are your thoughts? Do you think that there are people that are openly mocking what Tentacion stood for and the situation that happened with him? I want it to be, because there's a lot of things we see happening we didn't see before. There's a lot of people acting a certain way that we never seen them acting before. And these are all things that begins to get my motor running and get me thinking more intricately about the situations at hand. I mean, how many times have we stood up for what we believe? How many people have screamed justice for Ja, but their actions don't speak that of? They're not consistently doing it. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of them things where, what do you really get out of this? What do you really want out of it? And there are some people who we thought would speak up, never spoke up to even make a mention, never even talked about it after it happened. But, you know, all these things come with how the game's played. We expect it all. And that's part of what I'm trying to say. We see it all. I expected this type of behavior. A lot of other people around me expected this type of behavior. But my problem is that people need to learn to speak up when necessary, not speak up when they feel like it. Speaking up when they feel like it is what destroys the visibility of what actually is going on. It's what takes away the matter of them speaking up in the first place. You know, there's a certain way to behave, a certain way to operate, and we don't see these people operating that way. That's part of what I'm trying to say. If I don't see someone operating the way they should, it just brings questioning to my mind. It makes me want to analyze deeper. And that's part of why I do the media the way I do, because it's not a media that is translucent to seeing where the issues are apparent. It's not some type of media where I do it here and there. I stay consistent and I can mix it up at the same time. I don't even judge others but by their actions, but by what's going on. So that's part of the type of, let's say, steps I take towards the media that it is I create. And that's where respect comes in. That's where a mission comes in. That's where you begin to see the heart behind the person that is on these videos, that displays and speaks a certain way. The mocking and things, we see it. The type of activities that don't look anything but shady, we see it. How certain artists are acknowledged and they're just trash. We see it. Like, I don't understand it. I don't understand why this generation is accepting the garbage certain people are kicking. But what I do know is that we want to stay authentic with our media. That's part of why I told everybody to stay objective and keep your mind open. Not to just think certain things or make accusations, because as it stands, the evidence speaks for itself. As it stands, the actions of others that are under questioning are going to break. When you realize, again, you don't realize what's done until 25 to life is in your face. It's one of them things, and it could be the most hardened criminals. No, that's why they run. You know, me personally, I've never run from a situation of a crime, so I can't speak for that. But that's why people run. You know what I mean? They do something and they run. It's nothing new. It's always been happening. And these type of things are influential to changing what it is we know to make any type of sense, to be legit, you know. And that's about moving real, you know. And that's the thing I always told the younger generation: don't run. What are you running for? You fight and you have your day in court. There's no reason to be running from anything, especially if you stand on what it is that you believe in. If you stand on something, why would you ever run? If you believe what you did was right, why would you run?
There's a reasoning. It's because you don't believe what you did was justified, or you're scared to get caught. How can you hate another man but be scared of the cops? I don't understand that. And that's the type of things I'm speaking about, and they think that's cool and stuff. No, stand your ground. That's why even in Florida, there's a stand your ground law. It's for a reason. So if you paying taxes and you walking around and you're standing strong, what are you running from? What would you have to run from if you feel you're in some type of danger? Where are you running to? Stand your ground and stand for what you believe in. It's that simple. So do you stand for what you believe in? Is it really justice for Josh? There's something else. Are you mocking, or do you believe others are mockers? What are your thoughts? Because the same people's telling us don't talk about it and different things, I see signs of them mocking, almost using it directly to influence their character instead of trying to figure out what happened. They just want to talk about it, but they ain't saying nothing. They're not saying anything. But I do see mockers who are saying something, but it's odd. What are your thoughts? You know how I rock. All rights reserved.